like to know your point of view.
Welcome to Evening TV. I have some thumbnails of lion families, because this is really sort of the way that I was shopping for a man. Is I was very much the lioness, wanting to settle down and have a couple of cubs, and all I wanted was a big lion to roar, and I would do everything to take, just like the lionesses do. They do everything to take care of the male lion. They do all the hunting. They do basically everything, and just for that protection, just for that, that he has their back and the protection of watching out for she and the cubs. I had a husband, a father, an older brother, based on those guys alone, not even bringing the women into it, but just based on those things alone, I thought I had my back covered. I thought my kids and I were safe, that we were protected. Because when the lion turns on the family, right? Well, you would hope that the brother lion or the father lion would come charging in. There had been a lifetime worth of my brother, my father never standing up for me, never protecting me. I didn't see things, because the story that I told myself about who my husband was, he would never have done this, because I told myself that my husband was someone who took pride in providing for his family. I thought that part of what the narcissist would have is pridefulness about not wanting anyone to think that they, weren't providing for their family or weren't taking care of that. We had to do things on our own, that he wasn't going to ask for any help until he wasn't with me, and then he was perfectly willing to ask for help. He got, when I met him, he was living in a house that his father had given him the down payment on. He was driving a truck that his father had given him. He was getting plenty of help up until he got with me. And then while he was with me, he had all this pride about doing things on his own. Of course, he wasn't on his own. He was doing it with me, largely with my help. But the minute, in order to leave me, he moved in with his mother. He asked for all kinds of help. That he didn't have any pride about taking care of his sick wife. He would pretend to be broke in court so that he wouldn't have to pay child support. It could spare no expense when it came to lawyers. He could pay for lawyers' fees all day long. But as a female growing up in a narcissistic family, part of what you think the trade-off is, of course, you don't have the terms. You're not thinking of narcissism and all that. You're not thinking those terms. You're just thinking that you've got kind of an arrogant, cocky, whatever, dad. It's a paternalistic, authoritarian kind of household. But you're assuming that the upside is that, maybe you have to be submissive in your home, but you're assuming that he has your back. That when it comes to time to protect you, that your your brother are going to protect you as the girl in the family, is the vulnerable one in the family. But it is definitely a one-way street with narcissists. They are wimps. They're childlike. They're babies. They will just absolutely climb on your back to save themselves. They're not the kind of people that would stand up and give their seat to the pregnant lady or the little old lady. No, my husband was a complete deadbeat dad. That's the absolute worst of it, to come in, involve yourself with a woman, use her to build yourself up, and then when she's sick, you take all the money and you leave your sick wife and little kids penniless. It's just absolutely, they have no pride. This is what is so shocking to me, because they have enormous egos on what a man is supposed to be. It was that I put up with a little bit of this posturing and stuff, but it came with that I was his woman, and he would take care of me, and he would take care of our babies, and that he was the man, and that was part of what you do. But he would have used me to shield him from a bullet. No question. He would have used our kids to, no question about it. He would, if he was in a boat going down, he would shove the kids aside and jump in the lifeboat. I mean, just nothing manly about it. Father is getting right in there with my soon-to-be ex-husband, trying to steal money from his own daughter. Every kind of concept that I have for what a man is supposed to be, it turns out a narcissist was not. Think that, you think that, oh, the meek, mild mannered guy is going to not going to have the traditional manly things about him, but that's absolutely not true. My husband that I have now is very quiet. He's the absolute sexiest man because he takes care of me. He takes care of my kids. He takes care of his family. He is responsible. That's what a man is supposed to be. That's what a man is supposed to be. And that brings out in me all the qualities in me that I want to have, the ones that I like best. If you have a husband who isn't protective of you and doesn't take care of you, then you have to take care of yourself. And you have to be, I always wanted to be a daddy's girl. I always wanted that. My dad was never like that. I didn't protect a father. I didn't have a protective big brother. The one time that my brother defended me, I had to ask him to do it, So, there was a whole family dynamic there that I didn't understand. I just figured that I was wrong. I just figured that they didn't defend me because I was wrong.
True. I'd like to know